Hi, everybody. As you may notice, I am not Miss Addie. My name is Matthew, and I am the author of Matthew. Yes, the book that you have been studying in the Kids Weekly Devotional. Miss Addie asked for my help in telling the part of the story about why Jesus speaks in so many parables, why he tells such fantastic stories during his ministry. So if you haven't seen the other videos that Miss Addie has been doing in this series, pause this and go back and then come back and hear a little bit more about Jesus. When I was writing the story of Jesus' ministry in the book of Matthew, I wrote it specifically to my people, the Jews, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I hear that you are studying my story, the story of my people, on Sundays at church. I include so much about Jesus' family line and how he fulfilled all the prophecies to show my people that he really was the Christ, the rescuer. So we're going to read in my book, Matthew, chapter 13, about why Jesus spoke and taught in so many parables. Read along with me. All these things Jesus said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without a parable. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. Being Jewish, I knew, and my people knew, that a rescuer would come for his people. This rescuer is spoken of throughout the scriptures. I believe nowadays you call that the Old Testament. In my day, the Old Testament was the only Bible. And it wasn't until after Jesus' ministry that we started working on his stories, or the New Testament. My book is contained in the New Testament, as you have been learning. But back in my day, we only had the scriptures, the holy scriptures about God and his wonderful work through his people. I was referencing in Matthew 13, 34 and 35, I was referencing Psalm 78. So we're going to look back at Psalm 78. You can turn in your Bible, but look out because Psalm starts with a P. Ready? Psalm 78, 1 through 4. Give ear, O my people, to my teaching. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings from of old things that we have heard and known, that our fathers had told us. We will not hide from them, their children, but tell to the coming generation the glorious deeds of the Lord and his might and the wonders that he has done. The Psalms are a book of poems or songs talking to God. This one talks about God and gives a prophecy or a promise about the rescuer, who we now know is Jesus. The writer of the Psalms and of Jesus' time didn't know for sure when the rescuer would come, but throughout Jesus' ministry, he makes reference to the various prophecies he is fulfilling, showing indeed that he is this waited for rescuer. In my day, when I was walking with Jesus, I didn't know for sure that he was the Christ, even though I saw him minister and teach to people. Miss Addie said that I could use her materials here. Jesus walked and spoke to his people, and I saw his miracles, and I was amazed at everything that I saw. Then I saw Jesus go to the cross. And it made me very sad to see my very dear friend die. Then he went to the grave They wrapped his body in rags and oils, and he was dead. And he stayed in the grave for 3 days, and then he rose again. It was sometime around here that I started to think, there's something special about this man. And it all began to come together, all the stories that he was telling, all the parables about the kingdom of heaven, the lost sheep, the net, the leaven, the mustard seed. And it all began to make sense that Jesus really was who he said he was in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the scriptures. And that's why I wrote down some of his stories. I didn't write down all of them because there were so many, but the ones that God told me would be helpful for you, I wrote down in my Gospel of Matthew. And I wrote it to Jesus people, to the Jewish people, to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jesus really is the rescuer. He really did fulfill all the prophecies set before him in the Holy Scriptures. And that is why I wrote my book, so that you would know that Jesus really is the Christ. Thank you, friends, for listening. I will let Miss Addie get back to teaching you next time. And I hope that you have a good week, and I'll see you someday soon.